Hi, I'm Becky with LSU's Communication Across the Curriculum, here to share with you some tips on capturing audio. Audio capture happens in 3 steps. There is preparing, recording, and producing. If you're interested in learning more about the preparation stage as well as the recording stage, I invite you to check out the other 2 videos that are part of this series, because we're talking all about production, taking the files that you've just recorded and shaping them into your final product. Now, the first step of production is to take the files that you've recorded, your originals, give them an appropriate naming structure that makes sense for your project, and so you'll be able to find them, and make copies, because it's going to be the copies you're going to use to make edits to. You should take your originals and you should save them elsewhere. Save them on your device, save them on an external hard drive, save them in the cloud, but don't make edits to them. And the reason why is because some audio software is destructive. So once you make changes to the sound or you do any noise reduction, it can be permanent. And it's easier to go back to the originals, make a copy, and then start all over that way than to actually have to go back out and re-record content. So make copies, place them in the folder where you're going to find them to make edits, and put your originals up for safekeeping. The second stage is to go ahead and grab any other additional materials that you want to include in your piece. So if this is images, if this is other sound effects, pull those together and place them all in the same folder as your copies. Are you thinking about using any kind of music or sound clips that are outside of what you've created? It's really tempting to use popular music samples, but those have copyrights and restrictions for how they're used. So instead, select royalty-free options, like those that can be found at Free Music Archive or other public domain sites. You still should go ahead and give attribution to the artists that created that material, but at least you're not going to be using something that could potentially get you in trouble in the future and really limit where your particular product can go. The third step in production is to select your audio editing software. So there's multiple types. There's Audacity, which is free, and then there's for-cost software like Adobe Audition. Now, both have very similar functionality for creating quality audio, and so really what's important here to consider is where are you in your learning stage and what makes sense for both your discipline and your future career. At the end of the day, quality audio is key. So no matter what software you use, focus on that larger order, big picture. How can I get the best end result possible with the materials that I have at hand? And one of those ways is to make sure that you're using headphones. Particularly, use headphones that go over your ear and that do not include noise cancellation. This allows you to hear clearly and pick up on any tinniness or background noises that you may want to reduce or adjust. Noise cancellation tends to interfere with hearing potential distractions, and you won't want to have those in your final product. The fifth step is to make sure that you save your files. So save your files, give them again an appropriate naming structure. Don't just leave them in the folder with which you've been editing, but move those and add them to a cloud storage or an external hard drive so they're backed up. And then next, the sixth step is to listen to your final product. So you've been listening to it multiple times, take a break, give your ears a rest, walk away for a couple of hours, maybe a day if you can, and then come back and listen to it. And don't just listen to it on your headphones, listen to it through, say, the speakers on your device or in multiple places and spaces, because it's going to give you a better perspective of any kind of changes that you need to make in terms of adjusting volume or other sounds that come through. Likewise, if you can, recruit a peer or a friend to come and listen to your piece, because they're going to give you another layer of perspective that's going to help you improve the quality of your work. Because what's next to do is to share your work. And so now this is your opportunity to either share it with your instructor, or maybe you're sharing it with a broader audience. And if you do, make sure you've given yourself attribution, your name is on it, you've given it an appropriate title that makes sense for the issues at hand. Write a description if that's necessary. So if it's for a broader group, they understand what they're getting ready to watch. So now that you're ready to share your work, know that LSU CxC is here to help. Along with our writing support, we also offer presentation support for all of the disciplines and genres where you may be creating content for. Additionally, we have studio resources and consultations that extend to visual design and 3D modeling, so both your 2D and your 3D products. And of course, we offer AV equipment that's available for checkout, as well as we provide consultation. So you learn about how to use it, as well as then how to take your files from it and then incorporate them into completing your project. So from the very beginning through consultation to the final polishes on your product, we are here to help. And we're continuously adding new resources and services. So from tutorials and workshops to new equipment that fit your discipline's specific needs. So check back regularly to stay up to date on site-specific and digital resources.